welcome back to Mental Health with Bae. This will be episode 7 in our DBT series, and we're going to go over Wise Mind, which is one of the mindfulness skills. Before we even get into Wise Mind, we're going to talk about two other minds, Emotion Mind and Reasonable Mind. Emotion Mind, I'm going to use red for it because it is fiery, it is passionate, it is so happy or so sad or so angry. It's out there, it's artistic, it's expressive, it's emotive. Our next friend is Reasonable Mind. This is the mind that is logical, that is structured, that is orderly, that picks the path that makes the most sense, that is efficient. Putting Emotion Mind and Reasonable Mind together is how we get Wise Mind, which is the skill and which is the mindset where we want to be for the majority of the time. It was actually really difficult for me to think of examples of situations you would find yourself in where you would want to be either in Emotion Mind or in Reasonable Mind, because I kept thinking of ways that Wise Mind would actually be better for the situation, at least a little bit. Some of the situations I thought of for Reasonable Mind were better benefited if you could add just a little bit of Emotion Mind. So maybe it's like way over here in Wise Mind, but it's still in Wise Mind. Same thing for Emotion Mind, where if you are letting your heart out in an art project of some sort, but you also know that you need to be safe while doing it, Reasonable Mind's going to come in a little bit just to make sure you've taken safety measures. Same thing with Reasonable Mind. I thought about like coding or engineering, but that takes a little bit of creativity, which is Emotion Mind's forte, and therefore you'd want to be in Wise Mind for that too. Two of my favorite examples when going over Wise Mind are buying a house and finding someone to date. Buying a house, if you go in completely with Emotion Mind, you go into the house, you check the vibes, how it feels to you, if you feel safe, if you feel warm, if you feel comfy in this space. If you go in completely with Reasonable Mind, you will go in and you will say, okay, is this house in my budget? Is this house near the things I need to be close to? Does this house meet all of the safety inspection code things? Is anything broken? Etc. Putting those two together are going to be absolutely ideal, because if you go right off with Reasonable Mind and you miss out on any Emotion Mind, you might buy a house that meets all your checkboxes, but you don't feel very good in it. And your living space ideally is a place where you feel good and safe. If you go into that situation completely in Emotion Mind, you might be way off budget. You might love the house, but it's an hour away from your work and you would have to commute 2 hours a day. But Wise Mind combines all of it and gets you your ideal situation. Same thing with picking a partner. If you're going at it all Reasonable Mind, you might say, okay, yeah, you are the right religion, we have the same political views, you are the right height for someone I typically would want to date, you have this job and you make this much money a year, so like, yeah, this should be a pretty good partnership. If you're completely in Emotion Mind, you might see this person and think, okay, this is gonna work because you're funny and you're sexy and all these things, and we're gonna get together and be just fine. But again, you're missing out on important pieces of this situation. If you're in Reasonable Mind, if you start dating someone that checks all your boxes, but you don't feel anything for that person, it's not gonna be a great relationship. Same thing with Emotion Mind. If you're just so into this person, but a couple weeks later, you start fighting about everything because it turns out you disagree on everything, you would have wished that you would have put a little more Reasonable Mind into that situation. Therefore, Wise Mind, ideal for almost every situation. Be in Wise Mind. Think about when you are in Reasonable Mind or when you are in Emotion Mind and how you can bring yourself into Wise Mind. Also think about the benefits of both. Some people think that Logical Mind is not as good as Emotion Mind, and some people think that Emotion Mind is not as good as Logical Mind. And the point of Wise Mind is that they are equally important and kind of a dialectic because they seem like opposites, but they need to be true at the same time. Episode 8 will be ways to practice Wise Mind. So if you love this idea of Wise Mind and want to practice it, watch this next video. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe for more free mental health content. Thanks, bye.